Today, you're going to read your leveled reader, What is in the Wind? By Eric Barneveld. As we read, we're going to discuss some questions. And then when we're finished, you're going to answer some questions and do some activities with your book. What is in the wind? Signs of wind. You can't see wind, but you can feel it. Your hair blows in the wind. You can also see the wind making things move. Tree branches bend. Kites fly up in the sky. Ooh, look at, they gave us a label. Kite. Moving air. Remember, our headings tell us what the section is going to be about. Wind is moving air. The sun warms the ground, and the air near the ground gets warmer. This warmer air is lighter, so it moves up. Cooler air moves down to where the warm air was before. This moving of warm air and cool air makes wind. Wow, look down here, friends. Remember when we talked about our text and graphic features? This is called a diagram. This diagram gives us a lot of information about the wind. It shows how wind is caused by the warm air moving up, see the red arrow? And the cool air moving down, see the blue arrow? According to this diagram, what warms the air? If you said the sun, you are correct. Kinds of wind. Wind comes from different directions. A weather vane shows the wind's direction. Wind also moves at different speeds. Wind that moves at a slow speed is gentle. Wind that moves at a fast speed, is strong. Winds that help. Looking at that heading, what do you think we're going to learn on this page? If you said maybe something about how the wind is helpful, then you are correct. The author of this book split our book up into sections. So it's divided into sections, and the headings in the different sections help us know what we're going to be reading about. Sometimes a heading is just for one page section, or sometimes more than one page of information goes along with that heading. As we read, we're going to be thinking about how is the wind helpful and what clues does the photo give me down below. Wind helps people in many ways. When it is hot, wind helps people feel cool. Wind moves sailboats over the water. People use the wind to make flour from wheat and corn with machines called windmills. How does that photo give me more information? Well, I see the label windmill. If you've never seen a windmill before, you can now see what it looks like. I know, but you can imagine that these blades go around when the wind blows, okay? And in here, there could be things that are stored, okay? Let's see how else the wind can help. Oh, look at these. People also use wind to make electricity. A wind tower has 3 arms that turn in the wind. The turning arms make electricity. It takes a lot of wind to make electricity. Not all places get an equal amount of wind. Places near hills and seas get more wind. People often build wind towers near these places. Do you see the labels on this page? It's labeled the arm because when we think of an arm, we think of a human arm. But on this wind tower, it looks like a little propeller, kind of like on a boat or maybe a big fan with only 3 arms. And look at the wind tower. We're not talking about a building, but almost like a standing fan that's just really tall. So let's stop and think for a moment, friends. We just read the section, Winds That Help. If we want to talk about the main idea of this section, what could we say? Well, I know they talked about windmills. I know they talked about wind towers. Both of those are ways that we can use the wind to help us. So I could say my main idea is that the wind helps people. If you look at that first sentence, remember when we talked about writing topic sentences and how it hooks the reader, tells them what they're going to read about? Let's look here. Wind helps people in many ways. Isn't that kind of like what we just said for our main idea? Good job. Now, can we find details here that help support that? Well, wind moves sailboats over the water. Well, that's a way it helps. It pushes the sailboat so people can sail. When it is hot, wind helps people feel cool, so it cools people down. People use the wind to make flour from wheat and corn with machines called windmills. So for the detail, I could say that windmills help make food. We can use wind to make electricity using wind towers. So this whole page talked about wind towers and electricity. But notice how I kind of shrunk that down to just one sentence as my supporting detail? That shows that I truly understood what this page was about. Let's continue on. Winds that hurt. Sometimes winds hurt people. Strong winds can do a lot of damage. A tornado is a very strong wind. It can reach the speed of a fast train. A tornado can pull trees out of the ground and break buildings apart. Here is an image of a tornado. Look at this picture. A tornado is a powerful storm. We learn that some winds in a tornado can reach the speeds of a fast train. Why do you think the author used that comparison? Yeah, they used the speed of a tornado compared to a train because we know a train can go really fast, and that's something we see every day. Whereas I've never seen a live tornado, have you? So it's hard to picture just how fast it's moving. When they compare things we don't know to things we do know, it helps us as readers to understand things more. What kind of damage or harm do you think that kind of wind can do? Sometimes storms with strong winds begin over the sea. Lightning may not flash in the sky with this kind of storm, but it is still dangerous. The winds blow the sea and make big waves. When the winds get near the shore, the pounding waves can hurt people. I'm going to open to the next page as well so we can discuss. When a storm is coming, storm warnings tell people to beware. People watch storm warnings on television or listen on the radio. A storm warning helps people prevent damage from the wind. People make their homes safe before the wind starts. Some people leave their homes and go to safe places. Here, we see a picture with a label of television. We see the sea, and we see the shore. Looking at these pictures that run across both of these pages, it shows a powerful storm. Storm warnings tell people to beware of storms like this and to try to protect themselves and their homes. Why do you think it is that it's important to be careful when a dangerous storm is about to hit? When there is a storm, the wind is strong and dangerous. After the storm ends, the wind is slow and gentle again. On most days, the wind is helpful. It helps people work and have fun. Friends, you did a great job learning all about the wind with me. You're going on to the next slides to work with your vocabulary words and our main idea and details. Make sure you use your book in this video to help you understand and find your facts and information. Great job today.